Hello friends, so in the last video of alter table part 1, we saw how to add a column to existing table, change existing column and drop column. In today's video, we will see add constraint, how to add a constraint, could be primary key, foreign key, anything. We will also look at how to drop a foreign key constraint and how to rename a table. So let's get started. So first, before we want to add a constraint, we are going to create a basic table, which is going to be a course table. So let's say create table course. Now the reason I'm going to do this is I want to connect this course table to our student table, and we are going to add a column and a constraint to that too. Okay, so let's get started. So I want to create a constraint course table which will have ID of type int. I'm not declaring anything over here on purpose. Next, we want to go ahead and add a course name. So name of varchar maybe 100, and then we can have a price of type decimal, and we can say 7 by 2, 7 comma 2. So this is the table that we want to create. So quickly let's get implementing. So here you go, we get queries. Okay, let's do show tables to check confirm. So course table is very well created. Now going back to the point, how to add a constraint. Look at the syntax of add constraint. So it begins with alter table, where alter and table are the keywords. We mention the table name, then we'll write the keywords add constraint. So add constraint is basically the keyword. Now we need to give a constraint name. Now please understand, the constraint name is basically an identifier. It is not the constraint itself. So we are not mentioning primary key, foreign key over here. We are just giving it a name, right? Add constraint, these are keywords. Now next you will mention the constraint itself. That means, am I talking about primary key? Am I talking about foreign key? So this is what we will mention over here. Next, if it is a primary key, we mention the column name and my command is over. But if we talk about foreign key, in that case, we will mention in the brackets column name, then we use references, the table name, that is the parent table name, and in the bracket column name. So that's how my command would get completed. So we can add two constraints. One is the primary key, second is the foreign key. So first we will look at adding the primary key. Okay, so where we can put the primary key, let's understand that. So we are going to add the primary key to the course table, right? In the course table, if you will observe, let's do a describe course. So when we say describe course, you see we have integer but no key. So I want to add a primary key on ID. So this is what we want to do, ID as pk. That's the first constraint. Second, I want to add a column to my student table. So in the student table, I want the ID, course ID, to be the foreign key. So first we will add course ID, column, and then we'll add the foreign key. So this is what we are going to see. So let's get started. Let's start coding. So alter table course, add constraint, we'll give it a name. So the constraint name can be given in such a fashion which considers the table name, the column name and the constraint that we are giving. Okay, so the table name is course. The column on which I'm going to give the primary key is ID, and because it's a primary key, I will say PK, right? After that, I would say primary key, and in the bracket, I would say ID. So with this, we will be able to add the constraint. So it says query OK. Let's describe the course and check. You see, the primary key has been added. Now let's add the course ID into the student table. So how can we do that? So we'll first say alter table student, add column course ID integer. That's it. And with this, my column gets added. So let's say describe student. Here my course ID is added. Now we need to add the foreign key. So we'll utilize the syntax that we have understood. So alter table student, add constraint. So as I explained, we are adding the constraint on the student table on the course ID, and it is a foreign key, so FK. That's how the name of the constraint would be. Here I would say foreign key. Here you mention course ID, bracket close, and then you mention the parent table. So we'll say course and ID. Copy it, and error near. Oh, the silly mistake that I have made is I've missed the keyword references, right? Silly mistakes. And you see query OK. So that's it. That's how we can look at it. Now let's do a describe student. Here you go. So you see the course ID is added with the foreign key to it. Now the next step is that we want to drop this constraint. So we want to drop the foreign key. That's the next step. So how can we drop the foreign key? So first thing, always remember, the foreign key can be dropped by the name that we set. Okay, so in this case, we just now added the foreign key, so we know the name. But in many cases, in our previous videos, we created a foreign key for the books table, right? So if I say DSC books, we didn't name the foreign key, right? So we don't know what is the foreign key name if we want to drop the foreign key for author ID. So that's where we use the command show create table books. So that's going to help us identify the foreign key. So you see this books IBFK1. So this is the constraint name. We need this mandatory if we want to drop the foreign key, right? So how is the command or the syntax to drop the foreign key? The rules are same. Alter table name, right? After that we say drop foreign key, and then the constraint name. This is what we need to do, right? So if we want to drop the constraint for the student table, then the command would go as alter table student, drop foreign key, student course ID FK, and that's how the command works. And you see query OK. Now when we say describe student, the command would be available, MUL, this key will be visible, but when you say show create table student, the foreign key is no longer available. Okay, so the key MUL is available. Reason, whenever you create a foreign key, you are creating two things. One is a index and one is the relationship. So currently the index is not dropped, but the relationship has been dropped. That's the reason in show create table student you won't be able to see the foreign key, but there would be a reference that would be available. All right, now moving to the last bit where we want to rename the table. So let's say I want to rename the table student to student master. So how do we go about it? We will simply say alter table name. So this is going to be the old table name. Rename to new table name. So we'll say alter table student, rename to student master. Now when you execute this query, it says query OK. Let's do show tables. So this is going to show you that there is no longer a student table, but there is a student master. Now let's look at the task that we are going to implement. So we already had a task in place which said that we needed to create task table. We have added two more things: add primary key to task ID and rename the tasks table to to-do list. This is the task. In the next video, we will discuss all the solutions to this, and we'll also look at a new topic of the drop table command. Thank you.